The Legend of Zelda is filled to the brim with an insanely long list of magnificent music. Literal symphonies, in fact. So the idea of whittling them down to a list of 10, claiming those chosen 10 are in fact the best in the entire series, is quite daunting, if not a little bit arrogant. Yet here we are. So yes, I have indeed created a list of 10 of what are, in my opinion, the best themes from the entire Legend of Zelda series. But of course, with any list such as this, we can all understand right from the beginning, this is subjective. I did, however, give myself some criteria to go off of and boundaries to stay within. The first is that I cannot pull two from the same game, otherwise I could fill a list with Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time alone. The second is the pieces cannot be of the same type, meaning I cannot have two fire dungeon themes, two title themes, or two boss battle themes. And a final, soft rule I set for myself is this: the pieces themselves do need to have at least a little bit of clout behind them. So no picking some random off theme from Triforce Heroes. But again, I emphasize this is a soft rule, as I believe at least one of the themes I've picked does break this rule. And before we jump to the list, I do want to ask that if you enjoy videos such as this, that you consider giving the video a thumbs up after you give it a listen, and maybe consider joining the geekdom by subscribing. But with that, here is my subjective list in no particular order of 10 of the best themes from the Legend of Zelda series. The Great Sea from the Wind Waker is, in my opinion, one of the most epic sounding overworld themes there is. Not only is it just a great overworld theme, but it particularly matches so well the atmosphere you are embarking on. That is, of course, the Great Sea. I won't deny that it does have a little bit of repetition to it, but also because it is so good, I don't mind that repetition in the slightest. And that sure is a good thing, as you tend to be on the sea quite often throughout the Wind Waker. Link's Awakening, the Ballad of the Windfish theme, brings back so many memories for me. It doesn't matter whether it's the old bit-sounding version or the new orchestral version, I love them both just the same. I started playing Link's Awakening on my hot pink Game Boy Color way back when I was 3 years old. Naturally, I didn't get very far in the game, but I would sometimes sneak away one of my brother's Game Boys so that I would get the chance to hear this beautiful theme. The whole idea of Link's Awakening in general is already just a wonderful concept. And I feel the theme for the Ballad of the Windfish encapsulates this idea incredibly well. It's a beautiful way to accumulate all that you experience and explore in the dream that is Link's Awakening. While I myself have never played Spirit Tracks, I have definitely listened to its title theme several times over. I've often heard from those that have played the DS Zelda games that even though they may not be the best or their favorite, they cannot deny the beauty of the music from Spirit Tracks. And it's easy to understand why when you hear the title theme alone. Since I have not played the game myself, I can't speak too much else about it, other than to say just the entire feel of this theme is so fun and yet so nostalgic sounding, even though, again, I haven't even played it. Say what you will about Skyward Sword, but its theme, the Ballad of the Goddesses, is incredible. I would expect nothing less from the first Zelda game to feature a live orchestra for the recording of its music. I know this was something that Koji Kondo had been wanting for quite some time and really fought to have for Twilight Princess. Though his wish didn't come true for that game, he did get it for Skyward Sword, and it turned out magnificently. Just as magnificent as this entire theme sounds. Speaking of Twilight Princess, the theme of Midna's Lament is one of those pieces that stays within the hearts of everyone who plays Twilight Princess even just once. It's actually not my favorite theme in the entirety of Twilight Princess, but I can't deny its beauty and its depth. If you understand the story of Twilight Princess, the arc of the titular character that is Midna, then it's not difficult for you to see why the theme for Midna's Lament took a spot on this list. Sometimes I get the feeling that A Link Between Worlds gets kind of forgotten in the shadow of other big Zelda games, but whether or not that is even true, I don't think anyone could forget the theme for Lorule. What's interesting to me about this piece is that even though it's representative of a dark world, it doesn't sound too dark. It's certainly different from Hyrule's theme, but it's still fun and upbeat. And for someone like me who struggles a little bit to fight dark enemies, we don't need to get into the story of me trying to defeat Dead Hand or Redeads or Gibdos. Part of the reason I was even able to enjoy the dark world as much as I did in A Link Between Worlds was because of this awesome piece. The Clocktown theme from Majora's Mask, similar to how I feel about Midna's Lament from Twilight Princess, is not my favorite from this game, though it is certainly very high up. The thing about this piece is the fact that there's actually 3 different versions, one for each day, steadily getting faster and faster as the moon hurls itself closer and closer to Termina, signifying the doom that is inevitable for the land and its people, of course until Link saves the day. What I think is so masterful about this piece in particular is the fact that when it's day 1, It's a nice, solemn piece to listen to. But by the time you get to day 3, somehow this peaceful tune, even though all that's been done is it's gotten sped up, definitely starts to make your heart race a little bit. And that's just one reason I believe it deserved a spot on this list. I know this may seem odd, but I prefer Fi's theme in Breath of the Wild than I do to how it sounds in Skyward Sword. I mean, of all the themes I could have picked from Breath of the Wild, many incredible themes. Why Fi's theme? If you've played Skyward Sword, then hearing this theme in Breath of the Wild holds so much more emotional weight. Understanding that Fi is alive in the Master Sword and was even probably speaking to Zelda to let her know that Link could still be saved. There's just so much I could go into. Yes, I could have and maybe should have even picked either the interior or exterior theme of Hyrule Castle, or even Breath of the Wild's main theme. But that's how it goes with a subjective list. I believe this rendition of Fi's theme deserves a place on this list, and if I was going in a particular order, it would be pretty darn high up. How could I not put Zelda's Lullaby on here? I think it would be blasphemous. And some might think it kind of blasphemous that I didn't use the Forest Temple theme on this list. And while I adore that theme and think it's incredible, I've kind of used it a lot when it comes to my music ranking lists. Is the Forest Temple objectively good? Yes. But is it something I want to listen to all the time? No. But Zelda's theme, Zelda's Lullaby, used so many times throughout the series. You want to talk about emotional weight in music? This has got it 10 times over. And while I said I wasn't going in a particular order, there is just one more theme that can outdo Zelda's Lullaby in emotional weight. The main theme for all of The Legend of Zelda. Whether you're going back to the 1980s version for the very first Legend of Zelda game, or all the way to the 25th, heck even the 30th anniversary edition, or still yet any of the other renditions throughout the Zelda series in between. They are all magnificent, beautiful, incredibly well done, and seeing as this is the main theme of The Legend of Zelda, how could it not be in a #1 spot on a list even if it wasn't supposed to have a specific order? Maybe this feels like a cop-out entry, but I don't care in the slightest. Nothing can beat that main, iconic Legend of Zelda theme. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, if you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe joining the Geekdom by subscribing. Also, be sure to comment below your personal list of 10 of the best Zelda themes. I'd love to see where some of our lists may line up. Also, just as a quick note, I'm running a little bit of a special on my Patreon where anyone who signs up for $3 or more a month gets access to my Discord. I actually have a video right here explaining more about that, how it works, and how even if you might not be able to support for very long, you will not be kicked out of Discord. Or if you'd like to see other cool perks, please head on over to patreon.com/thegeekapprentice to see what else I have to offer. It really does help out the channel. Speaking of patrons, thank you so much to all of my patrons and channel members as well, especially those in the Hylian Knight tier like Joking Batman, Lorulian Sheep, Geek Mom, and McToppler. Y'all are amazing. But anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.